Hey guys, today I have the all-new HK Army death triggers in stock. So there's actually two different styles that they came out with. Both are going to be that deuce style. So this one here is called the Grim. This one here is going to have a slightly longer kind of tail at the very end of the bottom of the trigger. And that's just going to be more kind of for finger placement. And then as for the Reaper trigger, which is going to be their other style trigger, I hope that's focusing correctly for you guys. If you notice, this is going to be a lot flatter near the bottom, almost kind of like a blade style trigger. So if you actually kind of compare both of them side by side, and I'll try and get that close to you for you guys so you can kind of see, you can tell that this red one has a much deeper curve in the actual bottom portion of the trigger. Other than that, that is for the most part the biggest difference between them. But what I'm going to do for y'all today is I'm actually going to install them in a CS3. So I actually already have one installed. I have the Reaper installed here in our blue and silver splash CS3, but I'm going to go ahead and do one in our gloss red as well, just for the people who are unaware on how to change the trigger in their CS3. It's kind of like a one-stop shop video for you. So first things first, of course, make sure your air tank is off of the marker, make sure your hopper's off, and then always for kind of reassurance, I will take the barrel off of the actual marker itself. Guarantees, kind of minimizes the actual issues of a paintball flying out. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to rotate the marker over to where you actually have the marker in your left hand, and on the right side of the marker you're going to see this screw here, which is actually going to give you the ability to remove the trigger from the marker. So you're going to unscrew this screw, and the Allen key that you're going to use for this should come in your Planet Eclipse kit, and it's going to be the 5/64 Allen key. So once you actually have your trigger out, you're going to have this black carrier, your trigger, and then your actual silver adjustment nut. So what you're going to do is go back to that Allen key you had. One awesome thing I love about Planet Eclipse that they did on here was they made the actual screw that takes the entire trigger system out of the marker a 5/64, and then as well as the screw that holds in the trigger face a 5/64. So if you wanted to switch between the two somewhat quickly, you have that ability to. So what you're going to have once you actually disassemble everything is you're going to have these three pieces. You can go ahead and set your original trigger off to the side. We won't be needing that right now. And then what you're going to need is grab your new trigger. You're going to want to slide that new trigger right on the inside of this actual carrier here. And then on this actual silver piece, there's going to be two holes. So they go all the way through. And what you're going to want to do to your best ability is line those holes up with the actual hole that's on the face of the trigger. Sometimes this is kind of hard to do, and for me, I'm gonna have to point this out of the way of the camera so I can guarantee that I get this lined up. But a little trick that you can kind of use is if you actually take your Allen key you're using and put it through this hole, you can kind of help find where that actual hole is on that silver piece, and then you can go ahead and grab your screw that retains the actual trigger face onto the carrier and lock that in place. And then sometimes you will have the issue where it won't want to get in. Just go ahead, take that screw right back out, and then just make sure it's locked in place the proper way. Last thing you want is for your trigger to come undone while you're playing, and then it starts moving around too much. It's funny to watch others have that issue, but it's never funny to watch yourself have that issue. Once you have this locked in, and you'll know because everything will tighten up, you don't want to over tighten this. You just want to snug it up. Take your actual trigger. What I'll do, because this helps me a little bit, is I'll actually put the front half of the trigger in first and then kind of rotate and rock it backwards. And then you can see on the actual inside of the hole there that the hole for where the trigger pin will go through is all lined up. So I can actually just take this here, stick it right in, and then snug this up. Again, just until it's actually snugged up. Doesn't need to be overly tight. And then from there, you've went ahead and installed a new trigger into your CS3. So these Death Blade triggers is what the HK is calling it, and they have two different styles. They have the Grim, and then they have the Reaper, being that bottom little tail piece at the bottom. Well guys, thanks for hanging out with me today. I really do appreciate y'all stopping by, sharing the views, dropping some comments below. If you guys have any questions, stop by our store, prohpb.com, or shoot us a call, 1-800-966-9381. Ask for myself, Kyle, or any of my guys who will be able to get you taken care of. I hope you guys have an awesome day. I hope you like this video, subscribe for more. I want to see you guys in the comments more. Tell me something that you guys would like to see brought back to paintball as far as upgrades for markers, whether that is the older ASAs, feed necks, colors, things like that. Go ahead and let me know in the comments below. Thanks guys, as always, be safe.